When it comes to what your family eats and drinks, you know your choices matter. You're the expert because you know what fits your life. And getting it right starts with good information. That's why America's beverage companies are sharing more information about our ingredients at goodtoknowfacts.org. No spin, no judgments, just the facts straight from the experts for more than 140 beverage ingredients. Visit goodtoknowfacts.org.
No, and like I'm so, there's a point there where I was like, dude, maybe I should just like buy the clout for a second so I could like, look cool. And then in my head, I was like, but that's going to dilute everything that you're trying to do. Like if your foundational principle, Sergio, is to stop lying and tell the fucking truth, and then you're going to go out and, make it appear different. Well, then that's not the game, because the reality is, right? Like I'm not a big dog yet. Could I be? Sure. Is it going to happen? There's no guarantee. But what I will say is that the good and the bad, you're going to get it all. And for some people, it's so curated, it's so plastic, it's so fake that their information is great. But just knowing that they did that, to me, it takes them down a few notches.
Southwest Florida is one of the most beautiful places on the planet to live. For those of you that are thinking of moving from other states to come to Florida, or even just moving to a different part of the state, I want you to think of a big, beautiful luxury home. Contact Legacy Luxury Builders. They are a family-owned and operated luxury residential construction company. As a family-owned business, they believe in the power of building not just homes, but legacies. Contact Legacy Luxury Builders. Unlock your true potential on the field and court with our Peak Mental Performance Program for athletes. Train your mind to conquer challenges, stay focused under pressure, and achieve unparalleled success. Our expert coaches will guide you through personalized techniques, enhancing concentration, resilience, and confidence. Picture yourself outperforming your rivals, making split-second decisions with clarity, and achieving victory like never before. Join us today and elevate your game to new heights. Peak Mental Performance Program, where champions are forged in the mind. Email me today, sean.french@thedeterminedsociety.com for more information. See you inside. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Determined Society. Let me remind you, if it's the first time you've ever listened to the show, hit pause right now, go follow the show, and put on your seatbelt because we have an amazing fucking guest today. I have with me my boy, Sergio Nazzaro. He is a performance coach with over 10 years of experience. Sergio's inspiring story on how he overcame PTSD, a failing marriage, and a heart attack to create a 7-figure business. This dude's a badass. He holds it down with his wife, Lizzie, one child and another one on the way. This dude is a true inspiration to men. He and I go back and forth a lot on Instagram, and it's just always really cool to see somebody who is real and doesn't give a shit about what other people feel or think about him. And he puts it out there. So I respect him. Sergio, welcome to the show.
Dude, thank you for having me. Like, I feel like I know you so well, and yet this is the first time we've actually got to sit down and have a fucking conversation. So I'm stoked.
It's weird, dude, right? Because like we had a show before and I had to cancel, then we didn't get back on the books until now. But it's funny that you mentioned it because I you turn on the camera today and it's like, I've seen you like a billion times that we've had these conversations. I think it's like we do have very parallel energy. Like, we hit people right between the eyes with what we're saying, and it offends a lot of people. But you know what? So what? As long as it gets them to move in their life, right?
100%. And I look at it as like, hey, man, I'm just here to wake people up. And at some point, it's going to be a little bit polarizing, and that's okay because my intent is pure with what I'm trying to do.
No, it's true. You talk about, the polarizing the view, right? I mean, like people just, they need that sometimes. Like I need it. Like there's been times where I've watched some of your stuff. It's come across. I'm like, oh shit. Like, man, that hit me right there. That hit me. Like I need to do more right now. I need to get out of my own way because what I'm struggling with right now, and I'm, we've had this conversation, we'll get to it, but I never lie on my show. I never lie on social media. What it is what it is, right? I always tell people where I'm at. I don't really worry about if they're going to look at me like less than because I'm being honest. Dude, I'm struggling with the gym right now, man. I had this injury and I continue to like go on a Sunday and a Monday and then I'm out. right? So let's talk about, to start, like how important that is in your life, dude, because, I truly believe fitness is the gateway to a lot of other shit in your life
Yeah.
to make it better. So why don't you walk the audience through your routine and why it's important to you?
Yeah, man. I think before we hop into that, just your injury, like where is it? What is it? Because that's
Yeah.
kind of telling.
Yeah, dude. So I had an Achilles injury.
Okay.
And then recently my right shoulder's all jacked up. I got 3 tears in it.
Yeah.
So, I have a subscap tear, a supraspinatus tear, and a suspected labrum tear.
Yeah.
So the labrum will put me out. So yeah, dude, like when things like that happen to me, like I just go into the shitter.
Yeah.
I don't make good choices because I want to do shit right. And if I can't do anything right and I can't lift heavy, then I'm just embarrassed to be even in there.
Yeah. I think, from my routine, right? That's kind of like come back to this question, then we'll kind of wrap it around into the shoulder thing. For the longest time, I would put my body through the ringer. I mean, for 12 years, I was doing CrossFit. I competed at regionals a few times. Like I was in it. I was in the thick of it. And I knew my outer limits. Like I could disconnect my brain from my body and just fucking push through the pain. And I think a lot of that came from some insecurities. Like as a kid, I got bullied a lot. And so I got into lifting weights around 12, 13 years old, simply because like I was tired of being fucked with. And that's kind of, I've carried that chip on my shoulder for so long till I got to the spot where I was pushing so hard and I had these underlying deep securities that I was carrying with me that eventually my body started to break down and I ignored it. And first it was my heart, then it was my shoulder. Most recently, it was my elbow that got hyperextended from doing some.
I saw that.
Yeah, doing some stupid shit. I hired a coach. I have 2 coaches. One coach, his name's Tim Adams, and he is magical in the way he works. But one of the things he continues to ask me is, "Hey, have you looked at the spiritual meaning behind what your injury represents?" And I was like, "No."
Oh shit.
And so I looked into my shoulder pain and I looked into my elbow pain, and the elbow was a big one. He's like, "Where do you feel like you're going backwards in your life?" Which to me hit me right in between the fucking eyes. I'm going from a 7-figure real estate business to a brand new coaching business. I'm taking a step back. I was top dog and now I'm at the bottom of it. And so, yeah, I'm in the gym wanting to work out because it's really important to me and it has a massive impact on the way I show up in my business. But the same thing that you're going through, these injuries continue to pop up and it's my body trying to tell me something. That's why I asked.
Dude, enlighten me. This has got me geeking out, right? I'm excited. What does the shoulder mean?
Dude, I think so. I know the left shoulder, the last time I checked was like your ability to receive, because that's your feminine energy, right? So I have a tough time receiving energy and being able to or receiving anything, being able to do anything with other people.
Really?
So I don't ask for help.
So mine is the right. Mine's the right.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna have to do like a Google search.
Small dick.
Yeah. I think it means you have a small dick. Last time I checked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this one's not going to be for. I should do a warning on the show notes. This one has extreme language. I started to clean it up for a little while because I heard people were saying like I would really love to listen to his show, but he's too nasty sometimes.
Yeah,
and I want kids to be able to listen to me because of what I do with the athletes. So, but this show, they're just gonna have to deal with our foul mouths. So yeah, I'm interested in this, man. Yeah, I'm wondering what my body's trying to tell me.
Yeah, so I would spend some time looking at like what does the right shoulder represent. Look into it, see if that kind of starts to align with any of the other problems that you're having. I know that when my wife and I were struggling, I had back problems, and back problems and ankle problems, I believe, represent like your. Do you feel like you're being supported? And I wasn't. I didn't feel like I was being supported at all in my marriage. And it wasn't her fault. Wow. It was the fact that I was showing up kind of like a shell of a man. And so it forced me to look into my marriage and in resolving some of this pain and frustration, because your body's going to store these emotions in certain spots. In resolving that, it opened up a lot in me that I was able to then, get back into the gym and be more thoughtful about what I'm doing and realize that my marriage impacts my body. So there's some like, I believe in this stuff, even though sometimes it sounds like, yo, dude, lay off the LSD. It's more so like, hey, I think something's actually going on here.
I get it, man. It's funny because like your body's always going to tell you a story, right? So for me, I've been really tired lately. Like my eyes hurt. I feel like I have a constant like dull headache. I'm like, wow. So I'm going to research this. If you have a link, shoot me a text or
For
something,
sure.
like if whatever I can go to look at it, so I don't go down the wrong rabbit hole and it says I have cancer or something like that.
WebMD.
I don't want to go. Yeah, I'm not going to fucking WebMD, dude. Oh my God. But dude, you've had some health scares in your life, man.
Yeah.
You had a heart attack.
Yeah, dude. It came on the back of, I was just became an entrepreneur, and I don't even say an entrepreneur, dude. I was just in sales. I was selling homes. I thought I was an entrepreneur, but I was just in sales. And I was trying to build this business, not sure what it was going to look like. And then me and my wife, or my fiance at the time, we were fighting nonstop to the point where we called off our wedding, and we had to get a couples therapy. It was a disaster, man. And it was just stress after stress after stress. And I found myself in the hospital doing a stress test because I was having these chest pains for over a year, and it was debilitating. I have to lay down on the bed for an hour or two, and then I would get back up and just get back into work, And my wife was like, "Hey, you need to go get a test." And so I went in and did it, and I'm on the stress test doing my thing, and I'm at the VA, and they're like, "This is one of the longest stress tests we've seen." I was like, "Well, what's the longest? I want to beat the record, obviously." And I'm sitting there,
of course,
and nothing happens. So I'm walking to my car, and I'm supposed to leave for Mexico the next day with my real estate brokerage as a President's Club thing. Well, walking to the car, heart attack symptoms are induced. I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. So I go back into the hospital. They pull some blood, and they basically admit me to the ER. And I was having a heart attack. And so they went in. They did an angiogram on my artery, found out that my widowmaker is 60% clogged, and it doesn't run in my family. Nothing happens. When they took the thing out for the angiogram, I almost bled out. They actually had to hold me down on the table to stop my wrist from bleeding out. So there's these two things going on. So I come out of this surgery. I'm in the hospital, right? And I'm in recovery. Finally come to, it's probably a few hours later, and then the cardiologist comes in. And somehow I convinced them to let me out, and I get on the flight the next day and head to Mexico.
Wow, that's smart.
Yeah,
that's
smart. I mean, just
Did
super.
You have fun in Mexico?
Had a great time. I showed up. I had didn't realize I had hospital tape on me. People, it looked like what I imagined when Jesus was resurrected, and everybody's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I walked out and I was just ripping shots, and people are like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm here."
Are you gonna die this weekend?
Yeah, it was.
I'm here.
It was one of those things,
crazy.
though. In all honesty, it was it's one of those moments where I was I have to prove to myself that this isn't going to stop me. And I think it was a little too fast, and I didn't want to deal with it. But it is what it is. I'm alive.
So were you suppressing certain emotions during that time? Or and then when you got back from Mexico, did it start to become a little bit more real?
I think what I was suppressing was my inability to communicate with my spouse. I felt like I was walking on eggshells. I felt like it was a moment where my heart was like, "Yo, man, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing right now. This is great that you're crushing real estate," but I think it was my first sign that I wasn't following what I was supposed to do. And I wasn't having fun in life at all. It was just, I was one-dimensional douchebag. I was just focused on making money because I had never made money before. I'd done it my first year. And my second year, I was like, dude, if I can make more, this would be great. I think that's the first experience when you start to have that type of success. And so I think it was one of those moments when I got back, I hired a coach, and we started to explore these things and work on some deeper issues.
How long ago was this, man?
Give me a sec. Probably 2018, 2019.
Okay. So not too long ago, right?
No.
About 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years. And how long now, when did you stop doing real estate, and when did you start your coaching business full time?
So I'm in that transition right now. Right.
You're in the transition.
Yeah. Okay, so I've been doing real estate all year. I've been building this coaching company. I haven't made the jump yet because, similar to what we talked about financially, it's just not there yet. But at some point I got to go all in on coaching. So I've been running 2 businesses this year, and dude, I'm paying the price right now.
Bro, it's crazy you say that because and for the audience listening, this is what you're about to hear probably the next 5 to 10 minutes out of Sergio and myself is going to tell you so much about this business and what it really looks like. All right. And so that you guys can deduce when you're being bullshitted by somebody else that says you can walk out of your corporate job and become an entrepreneur because you flip that tab on your Instagram and you're going to make, 6-7 figures right away. It's not the way it is. All right. He's a very successful man. He's a veteran, killed it in real estate, 7-figure business, and he's still not comfortable yet in switching over. And the reason is because he wants to do what's right by his wife and his children. If it were just him, I can tell you right now, he'd be fucking gone pecan. Like, same with me. I would not be in corporate America right now. But it's important because, you said like financially, it's just not there right now. Do you know how many people out there on the internet that are lying about that very, very thing that you were just honest in front of thousands of people on?
Dude, it people try to still get me on it. Like, I get bombarded with these ads of being like, you could become a coach and make 7 figures in your first year. And you're right. There's a possibility that could happen. Right.
Yeah.
I also know that making my first $100,000 was fucking ridiculously hard. And
yes,
the thing is, it's like this massive identity shift, because as a 9-to-5 employee, even if you're, you have like an entrepreneurial position in your job where you're sales and you're running your own shit, the moment that security is gone, you're faced with the music. It's like whatever you hunt, you kill. There's no systems. There's no backup. You've burnt the boats. Get ready, because like it's going to be the biggest mental endurance race too. Because I walked out of real estate top dog, top 1% of 1% in the country.
Yep.
Now I'm a nobody again. And I'm like, fuck, exactly. Dude. And I mean, the self-doubt and insecurity and crying and like all of it this week, I'm just like, fuck, dude. What are we doing?
It's so funny that you posted that the other day. I literally broke down in my car that day. It is so hard to be an entrepreneur, right? And then trying to build your own business, while you're in, like you said, that entrepreneurial space with your W-2 job as a salesperson or whatever. Like, dude, it feels lonely as hell, man. It's hard, dude. And I can tell you talk about that first 6 figures that you make. I mean, I'm approaching it too, and I've done it quietly and very, I would say enthusiastically, but also very insecure, very scared. And, a lot of people wouldn't look at you or look at me and say like, wow, these guys are scared. They're sad. They are lonely. And dude, this is a fucking lonely space, man. With all the stuff going on with, people paying for engagement, paying for likes, paying for the comments. I can look at your page right now and I can look at my page and you can see that it's real.
Yeah.
We don't do that. There's posts that you put some shit out there, dude, that I'm thinking like, how does this not have over like 3,000 likes and like 1 million views? I'm not bullshitting you.
I appreciate that.
Your videos are fucking incredible. And we're going to talk about that offline, fucker, because I don't know how you do these videos and I need to switch mine up and I like your style. So, but dude, like I'll look, 2 to 3 days later and you have a handful of likes, and just so do I. It's just like, but we're not out there paying for it. Guys, you guys listening need to understand that you need to start following and engaging with people that aren't trying to fucking pull the wool over your eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, all these big people that these people like, they, 75,000 likes and 10 comments.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
No. And like, I'm so, there's a point there where I was like, dude, maybe I should just like buy the clout for a second so I could like, look cool. And then in my head, I was like, but that's going to dilute everything that you're trying to do. Like if your foundational principle, Sergio, is to stop lying and tell the fucking truth, and then you're going to go out and, make it appear different, well, then that's not the game. Because the reality is, right, like I'm not a big dog yet. Could I be? Sure. Mm-hmm. Is it going to happen? There's no guarantee. But what I will say is that the good and the bad, you're going to get it all. And for some people, it's so curated, it's so plastic, it's so fake that their information is great. But just knowing that they did that, to me, it takes them down a few notches.
It's funny. I'm like listening to what you're saying is like, can I be a big dog? Sure. Will I be? I don't know. It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that either one of us will, but I can tell you what, we will be, right? Like we're those newcomers, right? And in 10 years, maybe sooner, but I'm looking at it as in decades now, because I'm just so tired of getting excited about one little thing and then being let down.
Mm.
How many times in your early journey as a coach have you gotten so excited? You have all these, prospects that you've spoken to, and they're going to hire you, and you look at Lizzie, you go, baby, if even 3 out of these 5 hit, that's like a $25,000 a month. And then none of the motherfuckers buy.
Yep. And then you
Been
go back
there,
to,
right?
What's wrong with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be you.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I hear you. It's like, maybe I'm just not as good as XYZ person that's, seems to launch something and then 1,000 people just want to buy it.
Yeah. And, I was telling this story the other day. I had an opportunity to go back and speak at, my brokerage at some of their business planning meetings. And one of the things that's going on in the real estate market and a few different markets right now is just like the dynamics shifting. And, real estate agents are feeling the pressure. Mortgage lenders are feeling the pressure just because of what's going on. And I told them, hey, listen, I came into real estate in 2017, and I had immediate success, right? I'm talking, I had 7 months of no sales. And then it was like, I won rookie of the year. And then within 24 months, I had made my first $1 million. Right. And so
it's insane.
It's insane. Right. But what they didn't see is that from 2002 to 2007, I was in the Air Force Academy getting my dick kicked in and learning how to time management. Mm-hmm. From 2007 to 2013, I was learning leadership and how to be an officer in the Air Force and how to project manage. In end of 2013, they didn't see me struggling with PTSD and alcohol abuse and addiction and going through therapy and then starting my own personal growth pattern. They didn't see any of that. All they saw was this polished product that walked into one of the hottest markets of all time, believed in himself, and realized that the moment that I'm not selling homes, I'm actually selling myself as the process, as the guide. That's why it took off. And they just saw the immediate success. So with what we're saying, it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of a gestational period here for us to grow.
Yeah. It's funny, brother, because I'm sitting here and I went from working with athletes to telling myself a story that I couldn't work with them because there was no money there. And then I switched to entrepreneurs. I'm like, and then I realized none of this is hitting. Like, none of this is working. Like, I'm getting clients here and there. I'm making money, but not the type of money that I want to make doing this, right? Because I want to be done with corporate America at some point. And when I made that move back to athletes, it's almost like the world was like, oh my God, thank you, Sean. And then I launched the athlete community. I have 15 athletes in there, but I'm not marketing it yet. Like, on my stories, cool. Have I done an ad? No. Do I have a system in place? No. Do I have a funnel? No. I don't have any of that in place. And so to me, it tells me something. Then I met someone through one of my my friends. They helped me out with this, and they reach out to people on LinkedIn. We're building out the athlete community. Hey, got a guy that wants to talk to you. Possibly has an athlete for us. He's an SEC baseball player, dude. Signed, one-on-one client every month, recurring revenue, an amazing kid. He's going to be a draft pick. Right. And then I just get, thrown a second rounder, a 66 pick overall, signed for almost $1 million. It's funny how the gestational period just even feels better when it's something that you love.
Yeah.
Right. And it's something that the public, though, sees in you. And to my point is, to piggyback off what you're saying, it's like, now I'm selling me, not a program.
Right.
I'm selling my freaking story because I've been through it at the highest level of baseball in college at LSU. I've failed there. So I can talk to them about that. And it does pull on some heartstrings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think
there's myself, man.
Yeah. And the way that, I've thought about this is there's people to my left, and those are the ones that I can look back and be like, dude, I've been through what you've been through. I know what it's like to thrive in your business and struggle in your marriage. That's my clientele. It's men that are going through that in sales. We'll talk about that in a second. And then there's guys to my right that I look up to. And those are my coaches. Those are my mentors. And the more experiences I get, the more of a gap there is on the left-hand side, because more things open up that I can speak to because I've gone through it. So right now it's this amount, and eventually it'll be larger and larger and larger.
Well, let's talk about that, man. I want to lead the audience down that path. So that way, if there's a ton of men that listen, that they are struggling with their wives, that they know where to go.
Yeah.
Right. So if once you start working with a man that is struggling in their marriage, they're doing well financially maybe, but they're just struggle communicating with their wives. Like what's your coaching process like, and how do you walk them through it?
Yeah. So there's 4 domains that we work in. There's your body, your health and your fitness, your being, which is your spiritual connection and your connection with yourself, your relationships, your marriage and your kids, and then your business. We got to look at all 4 of those to kind of figure out where we are at. Most individuals are good in one domain. Like they're crushing it in their business. Maybe they got some fitness going on too. Very few have it in all 4. And so when people come in, my first question is, well, what do you want in your marriage?
Mm-hmm.
Most men can't even explain that. Dude, I just want to get divorced. I mean, I don't fucking know. Like, I want to have more sex with my wife. It's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we get them to start to think about that, but I know that they have no idea. So then I really kind of go into, well, tell me what's going on. And we start to uncover the pain of what's going on in their marriage. Do they feel like they're constantly fighting? I ask them how their marriage is impacting their business. I was like, it seems like you're doing well. Do you feel like you're getting held back by your marriage? Like, what happens if nothing changes in your marriage? What is the impact to your children, to your health? And so once we can start to see like this full court picture of what's going on from all different angles, then we can start to build out like, okay, well, what do you actually want now? And we build out each domain, because I know that if we work in their health and fitness, which creates discipline, consistency, and commitment, and they bring those 3 things into their marriage where they're disciplined and they do what they say they're going to do without having their wife tell them. Mm-hmm. They're certain with who they are and they're consistent with what they do. Their wives now look at them as like the man who can lead the family.
That's true, man. That's an important thing, because there's a lot of dudes that when they don't know what they want out of their marriage, the first thing that they're going to say is either they just want to end it or they want to have more sex.
Yeah.
But what does that really mean? What does that really mean? It means they don't feel like they're being heard and they want more intimacy. They want to feel closer to their wives, right? And again, like, how do you get closer to your wife? Like, how do you fix some of the things? Well, a lot of the times you can fix your marriage. You can fix anything if you fix your fucking self, right? And I'm not saying out there you're broken, but, like you said, the 4 pillars. Very few people have 4. I don't have 4. I mean, come on, let's be honest. My marriage is great, right? My relationship with my physical self right now is not good. Relationship with my kids is amazing, and my business is starting to peak. But what if I dial back into the gym, right? Because it's a decision. For all those people psychoanalyzing me right now, like, Sergio already knows what I'm going to say. This is on me. Like, I know it. I am perfectly fine with saying that I am messing up right now. I'm focusing in a lot of different other areas, and I'm using that as an excuse to justify that I'm not going into the gym. Well, I need more sleep. I'm tired. So this is on me. But imagine what my business would look like. Imagine how much greater my relationship would be with my wife. Imagine how much greater my relationship would be with my kids. It's like, we don't need to overcomplicate this shit. And Sergio, you said something earlier, like you went through a time where you're just punishing your body. It doesn't need to be that way.
Nope.
It needs to be you just keeping your word with yourself. So for someone who's really out of shape coming to you, how do you get them started to get even wanting to walk in those doors at the gym? Because that shit's scary for someone who doesn't go, right?
Dude, yeah, it is scary. I mean, it can be terrifying.
I'm scared to go back.
Yeah. A lot of it's like, okay, well, let's figure out where you're at right now. Okay. Like, what's your background? What do you have? Like, what are the skills that you have? And we just start there. A lot of times we have to go get some basic, information, get like a DEXA scan, get some blood work done. And so that they can get the information that they need. Like, I'm not equipped to read that type of stuff, but what I do know is that once they can see visually where they're at, well, then now we can start to create a plan from there. And I have resources that I bring in. I have a nutritionist I bring in. I have a fitness coach that I bring in, because that's their specialty. And I want to work directly with them. My part is like to help them understand that once we get clear on what we want, then we have to make an emotional tie to why we want it. For most men, just going into the gym to get in shape, like, you're like, dude, I don't like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But when I can say, okay, well, what happens if you continue to eat the way you're eating, and working out the way you want to work out. I was like, how's your marriage going to look like in 5 years? Like, do you want to fuck you with the way you look right now?
Most men would say no.
No, right? And so I was like, you know what happens if you start to work out and you start to lead your family that way? Your wife is going to have a lot of resistance at first if she's not in shape. And then she's going to continue to have resistance until she starts to go in and she starts to work out because she wants to keep up with you. So we have to create that emotional tie there. And so for most men who have been out of the gym for a long time, we have to find something that you enjoy doing. It could just be walking. It could be skiing. It could be hiking, whatever it is, an activity that you enjoy. Let's just get some consistency, right? Maybe 3 days a week. And then we can start to add, because I can't take you from 0 to 1,000. I just got to get some little wins for you first.
That's a great point. That's why I asked you that question, because a lot of times people, when they're starting something new, they go from 0 to 1,000 and then they get burnt out really quickly. I'm that guy, right? But I mean, I am starting from a baseline. And again, this has only been going on for like a month or two. Like of me kind of just being very inconsistent. But if you have somebody that's never ran before, you're not going to tell them, hey, I need you to go run 2 miles. You're probably going to start with walking, get them really good at walking. And then you're going to go, okay, let's pressure test this a little bit. Let's put a weight vest on when you walk. Okay, but now 2 weeks from now, you're going to run a mile and it's going to suck. But that's all you're going to do is you're going to run a mile and you're going to feel better.
Yeah.
We don't have to complicate it. We can make it very simple, right?
Yeah. Instead of drinking 6 sodas, let's drink 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like these aren't massive changes, but 4 sodas down to 3 sodas down to 2 sodas. It's going to have a massive impact on your weight over the course of 2 months.
Or 5 pieces of pizza to 2 pieces of pizza.
100%.
I mean, pizza is tough to give up, man. I'm sorry.
Dude, as an Italian dude, I love pizza. I love it.
That's like a Friday night in my house. It's a pizza. It's you're hanging out with a fam. It's pizza. We had pizza last night. It was good.
Nice.
Really good.
I love it.
What
kind of pizza did you have?
We go to Mellow Mushroom.
Oh, that place is delicious.
The place is dope. Yeah. We used to go back there. Probably shouldn't talk about this on the air, but at the end of every homestand in Louisiana, out there in Baton Rouge, they had one there in the college town, and that would be the place we went on Sunday nights after we just swept somebody and just made them look silly. They're on the plane home, it was a bus back then because it was after 9/11, so no one was flying except a long. We flew to the College World Series. We flew to Long Beach that year, but we drove everywhere else, like buses, 18-hour trips. Like we had like little cocoons in there. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. But Mellow Mushroom, the place was jumping, dude. I mean, if I'd have to tell you off air about the type of shit that happened in that place, you're like, ew, that happened at a restaurant. I'm just like, yeah, it actually did.
Dude, I played hockey. I played hockey. I know what's up, dude.
Oh yeah, it was nuts, dude. They would close that place like around 10 and we'd be there until 3. They would let us stay. It was nuts, man. It was crazy. It was crazy.
That's funny.
But so that's the kind of pizza we had. And we try not to buy a ton so we don't have leftovers.
Yeah.
Because if there's leftovers in the house, like, sorry, like that's just one thing that I can't lay off of.
Fair.
Can't lay off the pizza, dude. It's my vice.
I love
vice,
it,
man.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe we've been talking already for a half an hour.
Dude, doesn't feel like it at all.
Dude, I feel like you just logged on.
I know,
man.
I know.
Good God Almighty, dude! You got another kid coming, man.
Dude, yeah, I think that's an interesting piece that I've been running through my mind recently, right? So we got another kid coming in March. My wife's a stay-at-home mom, and we've been exploring a lot of stuff recently in our marriage. Her and I went toe-to-toe for a few months there. Like we were struggling again, and pregnant women, this is not going to go over well with you, but you don't make a lot of sense sometimes. And I've realized that.
Do they have to be pregnant to not make sense?
I don't understand women a lot of times. Like that's why I fuck it up so bad. Right? I try so hard and I love her so much. Yeah. But we're going toe to toe about this and we're trying to figure out, what needs to change. And what came out of this is like, she's afraid that when the second one comes, she's going to be so overwhelmed with the things that she already has to do and me trying to grow this business. And I was like, oh, dude. Well, let's just talk about it. Let's adjust our tasks list on like who's responsible for what. I can take on some more, right? If that's going to alleviate some of the stuff for you, because I have a little bit of extra capacity right now. And so, bringing number 2 on, like, I don't even know what to expect. But what I do know is that we are working through our stuff in our marriage right now to figure out how to prep for it. How many do you have? Do you have 2
I have
kids?
3, dude.
Dude, what advice do you got for me going from 1 to 2?
Well, okay. So 1 to 2 seems like a nightmare at the time.
Yeah.
But I can tell you from 2 to 3 is an absolute shit show. It's a clown. There's clown shoes. There's a circus. There's an elephant. It's just the craziest thing ever. How old's your daughter, right?
No, we're going to have 2 boys.
The son.
Yeah.
You have 2 boys.
Well, we're going to have 2 boys.
Wait, so you have 1 boy now. You're going to have 2 boys. Okay. Okay. How old's your boy?
He's 18 months. They'll be 23 months apart.
Oh, dude. So you've got it bad. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Your son now. You're fucked. So your son now.
Yeah.
Again, did he sleep well when, or was it, did it take time to crib train him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. I want to give you a little bit of peace of mind. Your second's going to sleep.
Good.
It's going to be calm. He's going to sleep. Okay. But your oldest, when the baby's born, he's going to love his brother, but he's going to regress and he's going to act like the baby.
Interesting.
He's going to cry, like pick me up, do this, that. He's going to want to be the baby now.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get a little bit jealous, but,
yeah.
But you know what, bro, it's beautiful. You still have man coverage. You're good there. What's really hard is when you have a third, because then you have one in kindergarten doing homework. You have the baby that needs to be fed. And then your middle child's like, what about me, dick bags? Like, I'm just here. All right. I'm going to go break something. Yeah. I mean, and so that was hard, but, it's a lot of fun, dude. It's a lot of fun. And they're close enough to where you're going to get to see them grow in their relationship, which is pretty damn cool. But yeah, no, dude, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I think there's some nervous energy around how do I continue to grow this business and support my family while this happens. And here's what I know is that, like, I feel like, I recently just kind of reconnected with God. Like, I don't give a shit what you believe in, but for me, like, I was raised Catholic, hated the Catholic Church. And so now I still believe in God. And so, like, I've been really tapping into this recently, like a spiritual, universal connection. And, there's just this calm presence of knowing that, like, this is the pressure and the focus that I need. So in a lot of ways I'm nervous, but in a lot of ways I'm just like, dude, this is what is required for me to have that backwards pressure that I need to continue to push me, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense to me. Because I've seen enough from you, and I'm not worried about you. Like, you're going to be just fine. You're going to grow. You're going to absolutely grow, and no pressure, no diamonds, bro. Period.
That's right.
Right. And I think, dude, like, pressure, and this is a good point, because you're going through something right now, and I'm feeling pressure in my own way, but, like, pressure's a blessing. Pressure is a gift. It is not something that we are experiencing because we're being punished. Right. So this is the audience, like, for the audience, I want them to realize that, if you're going through something right now where you feel this amount of pressure and adversity, this is your gift, because this is what is needed to pressure test you to get to the next level of where you want to go. So look at it that way. Right. Yeah. So, in your case, having your second son come in and having that, little bit of nervous energy, but it's also going to propel you, I think, to be even more efficient than you already are, to provide what you need to provide. I bet you your business grows 50% at least.
Yeah. What do they say? Pressure is a privilege.
Yeah.
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 So
it doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it. Right. No, not at the time at all. But, like, you overcome things. Right. And that's why I love podcasting, because it's like, I'm having this great conversation with you. And a lot of the things I'm saying is built on my own perspective of what I'm going through. Right. And it's really cool that way, because I'm thinking, wait a second, like, I need to get back in it, man, because this is my pressure test.
Yeah.
And if I don't do it, that means I'm giving up on my business. I'm giving up on my family. I'm giving up on my wife. And I think, and I don't know how you feel about this, but a lot of times I have to tie something catastrophic to me doing something. Like, okay, if I don't go to the gym, like, what if I get cancer and die? Then my wife is a widow and my kids don't have a dad.
Yeah.
You selfish bastard, get off your ass. I'm like that. I don't know about you, but I'm like that.
Yeah, I think for a long time I was doing that, right? And I don't know if it was like these massive things, but I was doing it. I was building everything out of lack. Like I had to prove everybody else wrong. So I would go to the gym so I could be, in the best shape out of everybody. So I could tell people that I outworked them that day. All of these things. I think that was the chip that I ran with. And that's a powerful energy to run with until, and this is just a recent realization, until I realized that in doing that, it is predicated on you getting external validation from somebody else to say, hey, that voice that you've been using as the energy for you to create all these things that you're creating, I see it, but nobody's ever going to say it. So you're constantly searching for it. The moment I switched to, I'm building this for me because this is just who the fuck I am. Now I can create from this place of abundance and I don't need any validation. Doesn't mean I don't seek it. I'm human, right? Look at social media. I check that thing and be like, damn it, didn't do well. But what I am saying is that like where I'm building now from, I'm trying to build from a place of like, hey, this is just decades. This is me doing it for me.
Right.
And I don't need anybody else to tell me like, hey, you're doing a good job. I already know I am.
Absolutely. And like, listen, man, that's the thing. We all look at these vanity metrics because for anybody says like, I'm not doing this for the likes, I don't really care. Well, then you wouldn't be on social media. You'd be at fucking BNI at your local restaurant on Tuesday mornings trying to get business. You would not be on social media building it. The other thing, it brings up a good point, actually. I think people are looking at this the wrong way. And I know I did at the very, very beginning. And when I started doing, just like I said, before we hit recording or the record button, my buddy and I that I played ball with at LSU, he's an agent. Now we're teaming up and he's referring players. I'm employing him, right, to do so. Like, that's a network. That's how you grow your business. And what do you have? Because a lot of people that listen to my show are creators, right? They want to do something like this. What kind of advice would you tell them about maybe even the traps of trying to grow your business online?
Yeah, it's another mental game. You have to figure out, I think that one of the biggest things is you have to figure out who you're speaking to. And that's a hard one. I think one of the conversations that we had, right, about sales, where we going back and forth, because I was talking about medical device sales and real estate, and I was lumping everybody together, which we can talk about here or offline, because I'm always curious about that. That was the moment that I had made a pivot and I'd come back and I was like, I'm focusing on people in sales who are struggling in their marriage. And so that was the first time that I had let something out of my mouth about these types of individuals, us. And it didn't fucking land, man. I got it. You hit me up and like, we're boys. You can talk to me like that. I got it from all angles, man. I was getting my fucking dick kicked in and it was hard. And what came from that? Well, what came from that is like, okay, my intent was okay. My messaging was off. Let me polish this up a bit and get back in the arena. But that never would have happened if you hadn't chiseled away and somebody else hasn't chiseled away. And like you guys were all giving me this feedback and then I had to process it. So for people who are trying to build, a lot of this is you have to be willing to take a shot. And it doesn't have to be perfect.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what, I've been shot at many times, right? Like at the very beginning, the way you're speaking, you're intimidating people. You need to back the fuck off. You're saying fuck too much. Well, don't listen to this episode then. But like, but I mean, yeah. And when I wrote on for you, it was more of like a second, like, wait a second. Like I felt comfortable. I'm never that guy that goes to someone's post unless, and gives my true opinion, because like, what do I have to gain from it? Right. Like, I'm not going to sit there and get in a pissing match with somebody, but I was like, no, I like this guy a lot. I'm going to push back on this motherfucker right now because I knew that energy in your video was so much different than anything else that you had put out. I'm like, okay, he's frustrated about his elbow maybe, but I don't know, but I'm going to be like, I'm going to hit him. Because I agreed that medical device people, real estate agents, they're not entrepreneurs. I did not agree with middlemen. I thought that is where you missed.
Yeah.
Because it took, to me, being a middleman or something like that, I understood what you were saying. I'm like, this dude sold over $1 million in real estate and he's taking power away from what the fuck he did, you know? And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like that. I liked what you were trying to say, you know, and it's okay that I disagreed with you.
100%. Well, but that's
you better pipe up when I say something that you don't agree with.
I will,
like,
but
fuck you, Sean. That's not right.
But that's the beauty of this, right? Is like we are two things happened. One, I said some things that were extremely controversial that pissed a lot of fucking people off, and it was incongruent with everything I had said. When I went back and rewatched it, I was like, damn, dude, like, you think you could have been putting people down anymore. Like, this wasn't a we game. This was you were pointing fingers at everybody else. Like, you're a fucking idiot. You're a middleman. You're a pussy. And it's like, no. I get it. What I was trying to say, the packaging was off. So that was one of the things. It's like, yeah, I'm speaking truth at the time, but it got misconstrued because I didn't deliver it well. You come back at me with truth. Instead of like trying to, you know, hey man, you might want to try it this way. You're like, nope, I'm going to come right at your fucking neck. And I appreciated that because that's the way I kind of respond. I was like, oh, okay. Like, damn. All right. Got it. Let's go into this conversation. Now I'm getting phone calls. And I appreciated everybody who kind of like came to that because the way I looked at it is like, if you didn't give a shit about me, you never would have said anything.
100%. I mean, that's it. Like, that's it. Like, I don't spend my time, you know, giving that kind of feedback for someone I don't care about, you know, and I wish more people were like that, dude. And again, I like the last message you sent me was like, you know, this is why I hate, you know, like social media or texting. Like, Sean, if we were talking on the phone or on a podcast, you would find that we are in agreement. And I'm like, he's right. Because I knew your overall message. I said, like I said, I agree. Realtors and medical device people are not entrepreneurs. Now, you can blur the line if you have a tax ID number, right? And you are, I guess, a independent rep for like a distributor. Yeah, you're kind of building your own business, but it's still not your product.
Right.
Still not your product.
Right. And you can have entrepreneurial tendencies and habits and practices, but you're not an entrepreneur. And listen, if anything, that's okay because you can make a shit ton of money being the person in the middle selling shit.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so funny because me and I don't know if you know this about me, but prior to medical business, I was in payroll. I sold HR and payroll for years, about 7 years. And one of the accountants that I worked with that never referred me business, like really cool dude out here in Cape Coral, Alex Evers, awesome guy. He loves college football. We used to go back and forth because my LSU Tigers were always beating up on his Florida Gators. And it happened again last weekend. And we happened to have lunch this past week. Planned it that way so I could laugh at his ass. But no, so he's been trying to get me. He's like, man, I really want to build my payroll department. I need you. You're the best. I'm like, brother, well then how much you got? Like, what are you going to, like, what do you got? He's like, well, no, I want to give you 50-50 ownership. I'm like, oh, so you want to build a business? He's like, yes. I'm like, so I signed off on the papers, right? So now not only am I building this, I'm building a payroll company. So I could sit there and say that's entrepreneurship. Yes. But let's go a step further. We're going to white label somebody else's software. So you're using, you see my point? So like, I get it. And it's like, okay, well, fine. Is it really entrepreneurship until we create our own software to run the payroll, to hold, you know, to float the money and push it out to the tax pay? You're splitting hairs there. But like, I can tell you, I wish we had $2 million right now to do our own software. I don't want to white label somebody else's. I want my shit. Right. But dude, it was the audience is like, what are they talking about? But it's like, guys, what we're talking about is respectfully disagreeing with somebody. And you sons of guns in America over the last 3 years has forgotten how to do that.
Yeah. Y'all are soft.
You can respectfully, oh my God, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's like you can disagree with somebody and be respectful about it, you know? And that's what we did. Yeah. And so What's your Instagram handle, by the way? Tell the audience. I'm going to put it in the show notes, but I want, if you know, like what
Yeah, dude,
need to be, where can they find you?
Yes, it's Sergio, Sergio .Nazzaro, and is in November, Azzaro. So Sergio.Nazzaro.
And he's a handsome guy. He's
Dude,
he's a beautiful man. He's a fucking beautiful guy. What else?
Yeah, dude,
website, become the standard.live.
That's right. Yeah, man. It's all about, listen, I believe that you can have it all in this life. You know, you're a dad, you're a husband, you're in sales, like you're doing the whole thing. Like, I believe that no matter how old you are, you can be fucking jacked. You can be in good shape. You can have a connection with yourself that you know yourself better than you ever have. And if you believe in God or whatever you believe in, like, you can tap into that power and have it guide you. Your marriage can be on fire. Your kids can call you a hero, and you can make a shit ton of money all at the same time. That's what I'm after in this game.
Yeah, same. It's inspirational. And you said something, connection with yourself. And now I want to blow the audience's mind here. So I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you believe you should be working out and getting in great shape and leaned up because you hate your body? Or should you be working out, eating right, getting in unbelievable shape because you love yourself no matter what, which is going to create more impact in your life?
If you love yourself, like that's it, right? Hate's a tough thing to do, man.
Yeah. See, that's funny because when I go to the gym, and again, vulnerable moment, it's because I hate something about myself. And so I never get to that point where I'm completely shredded. I'll get leaned up. I'll get down to like, 19, 20%. And I'm like knocking on the door to get down to 15. And then I'll just self-sabotage because I'm coming from a place of hatred. Like, and again, nobody else is going to sit there and tell you this. No, guys, no one else is going to sit there and tell you their exact issue. They're going to say, I love myself. I never doubt myself. Ooh, look at me. I have 1 million fake fucking followers. But it's, to me, I fall short because I don't come from a place of love. I can do it for a little bit, but then I'm like, oh, I hate this part about me. I hate this little edge corner right here. So I wanted to ask you that question because I had a feeling you were going to answer it the way you were.
I guess my question to you is like, what's the biggest lie that you're telling yourself about your body?
That I'm enormously fat.
Okay.
Like I'm like, dude, like it's body dysmorphia.
I have that too.
It runs really. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody does probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
At some point.
That storyline though, right? That you're overweight and you're obese. Like if that stays your focus, well, then you're always going to operate out of hate towards your body. You already know this. I don't have to tell you this.
Yeah.
There comes a point though where, at least for me, it was a shift when I realized like, oh, me going to the gym is actually a form of self-love. Me eating food that makes me feel good and look good is a form of self-love. Also, me having a piece of pizza and crushing a beer, a Modelo, because they're delicious, is a form of self-love, right? So like it's your ability to reframe it and see it from a different perspective. Because at the end of the day, the way that we speak to ourselves is going to be the way that our children see it, the way our wives sees it. It's the way we speak to other people. And even though we can put it on as sales professionals and chipper up and have the conversation, if that energy is out of alignment, sometimes clients can feel that.
Yeah. No, it's good, man. I'm glad you said that. And you're right. How you think about yourself and the things that you truly buy into on a moment-to-moment basis, that's how you're going to show up, right? So everybody's body and like finances or whatever is a physical representation on the perspective and how they view their finances and their bodies and themselves. So well said, man. This has been an amazing show.
Dude, you're a good host.
Amazing. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
You're a great guest. Dude, it's so funny. People ask me, what do you think you're really good at? I'm like, hosting a podcast. That's pretty much it. But no, I mean, I feel like I am better at a lot of other things. But when someone compliments me, man, on my hosting abilities, that means the world to me. Again, seeking outward, acceptance. Yeah. But it's my art, dude. It's my art, right? Like, just like I complimented you on your stuff. I love your content.
Appreciate
even the post I hated, I loved. I mean, Straight up, dude.
Yeah.
Like straight up, bro.
I appreciate
I still
that.
respect the art.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. Oh my gosh. So, dude, so the audience, how can they work with you, man? How could they hire my boy Sergio to help them out?
I think the first step is just go follow me. You got to get a taste to see if I'm even the something that you want to eat on a regular basis. You know, I might be the last thing that you want in your life, but if you come in and you're
which
like,
would probably be the thing that they should do.
Yeah. But if you come in and you watch long enough and all of a sudden you're like, hey, I like this. All you got to do is there's a link in my bio. Go click on that. Quick video for you to watch and an application. We'll take a look at it. If it makes sense, then we'll move forward.
Love it. Love it. You heard the man. Go check him out on a social media handle. Follow him along. Click the link in his bio. You can get his Instagram link from the show notes, so don't worry, guys. But I want to thank you once again for tuning in to another amazing episode with an absolutely incredible guest. And please, we want to hear what you think about this episode. So leave a nice written review. Hopefully it's a 5-star, but tell us what you loved about the show, what you got most from the conversation from Sergio and myself, and share this episode with your friends. You know, we have a couple of ads at the beginning of the show, but we don't break up the show right now to advertise other brands. But so our growth is depending on you guys sharing the message. So please share this episode with someone you love. And until next time, guys, be determined and do what you got to do to get to the next level in your life. We love you. Peace. Southwest Florida is one of the most beautiful places on the planet to live. For those of you that are thinking of moving from other states to come to Florida, or even just moving to a different part of the state, I want you to think of a big, beautiful luxury home. Contact Legacy Luxury Builders. They are a family-owned and operated luxury residential construction company. As a family-owned business, they believe in the power of building not just homes, but legacies. Contact Legacy Luxury Builders. Unlock your true potential on the field and court with our Peak Mental Performance Program for athletes. Train your mind to conquer challenges, stay focused under pressure, and achieve unparalleled success. Our expert coaches will guide you through personalized techniques, enhancing concentration, resilience, and confidence. Picture yourself outperforming your rivals, making split-second decisions with clarity, and achieving victory like never before. Join us today and elevate your game to new heights. Peak Mental Performance Program, where champions are forged in the mind. Email me today, sean.french@thedeterminedsociety.com for more information. See you inside.